accept His salvation and follow the Lord. And following the Lord means doing as He commands. And so many people just aren't doing that. They get the first part, and then they get that once saved, always saved mentality going, and think that they can do whatever they want after that. They don't follow the Lord, they don't seek Him, and they don't even learn what it is they're supposed to be doing. You know, the shepherds today have done nothing but seal the fate of many a believer today that follows them and that never learns to build a relationship with the Lord so they can start doing what He tells them to do. And you know what? I just think the judgment is going to be a lot different than most people can imagine. Most people imagine standing before the Lord to be awarded, and people are going to be losing awards. People are going to be losing a lot of rewards because they just didn't do as He commanded, you know. And He takes it very seriously, folks. You can't live your life in a license to sin mentality and expect to march into heaven. You may not even get there. You know, I'm not judging anybody's salvation, but I'll tell you right off the bat that people involved with witchcraft and guiles and mocking the Lord's name and putting Him to shame, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. We have to be very careful that we honor the name of the Lord that we follow and that we claim we serve. If you're putting the Most High God's name on something, you better be sure it's from Him and not some elf god and not some military trickery and deceit, because you're putting His name to shame. And just think of all the false flag communities on the internet today that do exactly that. You know, they all share each other's demons. And I know there's a lot of truth seekers out there. The Lord leads you to my websites to learn. And I have plenty of articles. I've got articles on a lot of different things at my website, SherryShriner.com, SherryTalkRadio.com. A lot of different articles for you to learn from, for the truth seekers. You know, I released an article earlier this week, how aliens target, manipulate, and control mankind. And I wanted to go through some of this today because so much of it is prevalent. So many people just waking up to the fact that these aliens do exist, that they are the fallen angels. And one of the things that cracks me up is, you know, when I came out 5 or 6 years ago, even when I put up the Watcher Files and started warning people, and everybody back then talking about how crazy I was and what size did I want my straitjacket, and was the van outside my door yet, and all the jokes, all the mockery, and all the scoffing. And today it's almost getting ludicrous to where you have people setting up entire ministries just on articles I've written. They're running their entire ministries just on aliens and UFOs because they've learned the information over the years, and now they're self-proclaimed experts. And that's okay. You know what? As long as we're all warning people, you know, the Lord can decide who He stood up and who He didn't. And, you know, warning people is the most important thing now because so many of His people have just gone to sleep. So many of them are drowning in errors and deceptions and witchcrafts and guiles. And it's these people, folks, that you're going to find in Revelation chapter 6 with the 5th seal, all the souls under the altars. It's because these people are going to be the ones tested at the guillotines. It's these people who will not make the rapture of the first fruits rapture. They won't make it because no one in the first fruits rapture can be found with guile, can be found with witchcrafts. I mean, those are the things that will keep you out of making the rapture. And there's not one of those people that will make it. These are going to be the ones the Lord is going to be allowed to be killed at the guillotines to be tested for their ultimate loyalty in Him. They're going to be tested. Do you really love me? And, you know, a lot of people will lay down their lives for the Lord. They will refuse the mark of the beast. They will refuse to worship the beast. So not all of them are charlatans. Some of them really do love the Lord. They're just deceived. They're just deceived. A lot of other people, their ministries will be over. It'll be time to die. A lot of people whose eyes are wide open, who don't plan on doing anything else but being in the faces of the enemies, but being in the front lines until they can no longer be in the front lines, until they're dead. You know, that's the way just a lot of the Lord's people are. Phil Schneider stated I'm going to keep talking until they put a bullet in my mouth. And what they did to Phil Schneider, they hung him. They killed him. And so, yeah, it wasn't a bullet, but a rope stopped him. He was just going to keep talking. He was going to keep warning people and exposing evil until he didn't have any more breath to do so. And that's how a lot of Christians are today, his warriors, the ones that are standing up to fight in these last days. They're on the front lines. And that's the way they're going to be all the way up until their deaths. They're not going to go run and hide. They may go take care of business, make sure their families are taken care of, make sure their children are taken care of. But you know what? The warriors for the Lord, we're not running and hiding anywhere, folks. We're always going to be on the front lines. We may have to change locations, but we're going to be on the front lines all the time. You know, there's nothing that intimidates us about the enemy. We're not intimidated. We're not scared. They can't stop us. And so let that be an inspiration to other people who are living in fear. You know what? The Lord is our rock. He is our strength. Perfect love casts out fear. When you start to live for the Lord daily and you start walking in His Spirit daily and you start testing your faith in Him, little things, just they start adding up. And you know what? All of a sudden you're going to become a rabbit or a little kitten into a lion because of all that practice you've had in Him. It's built your confidence in Him. And it's also going to build great boldness within you. And you don't have a lot of time to strengthen your spirits, folks, and that's why, you know, I encourage you to strengthen your spirits in Him. Get rid of the garbage. Get rid of the bad television shows. Get rid of the bad music. Get rid of all of that stuff and just worship and serve the Lord. Listen to some good praise music and just spend time with Him. And that will strengthen your spirit in Him. And you will notice from that point on, whenever you do hear music that doesn't glorify His name, whenever you do see something on television that wouldn't glorify His name, it repulses your spirit. You can't take it. You can't stand it. You don't like it. And so that's how you strengthen your spirit in Him, folks. Get rid of the garbage and just fill your spirit up with Him. And you'll notice the difference. And you only want that evil stuff back. You know, so just strengthen your spirits in Him because we've got a lot of persecution coming. We've got a lot of hard times coming. We've got attacks, destructions, natural disasters, natural calamities coming. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that there's going to be a rapture of America before the tribulation starts. America could be completely destroyed before even a first fruits rapture, folks. It could be completely destroyed. And so that's why the Lord today is leading so many people to start preparing to head to the mountains, to prepare places, to stock up and prepare for hard times coming. Because there's no saying that the United States couldn't be completely bombed and destroyed this year or next. And that's why the Lord wants you to be prepared. You know, there's going to be no rapture coming to save us from a lot of hardships and persecutions. The Lord said the servant wasn't any greater than the master. And He is our master. He suffered. He was persecuted. We should fully expect to be persecuted and suffer in His name. Now, a lot of you take that in a fearful way. I would take it as an honor. You know, I would just take it in stride because, you know what? I love the Lord. I'll live for the Lord. I'll die for the Lord. And that's the only way I'll be. That's the only way I am. Now, I'm not fearful of anybody or anything. You know, I serve the King. And so we have nothing to be afraid of, folks. The spirit of fear is not of the Lord, it's of the devil. If you're fearful, if you're afraid, just rebuke it, renounce it, and start strengthening your spirit in the Lord with Him by talking to Him, getting to know Him, praying for the right things. Stop praying for a new house or a new car and start praying for something that runs that'll get you where you need to go. Start praying for discernment. Start praying for Him to teach you how to hear Him. Pray for the things that you need, not the things that you want. Find something that you're lacking in. If you need more discernment, ask the Lord for more discernment. Ask Him for these things daily. Bug Him about them. I mean, He's our Father. He's like a typical parent. When a child asks them for something, they ask them one time. You know they don't want it when they just ask you for something one time. But when they keep bugging you,